Very good morning to all my dear students. Hope you all are doing good and taking very good care of yourself. Welcome to Social Studies, Paper 2, Session 5, continuation of Chapter 12, The World During the World Wars. Today, we are going to learn Economic Depression in Germany, Rise of Fascism, Italy, Nazism, Germany, and Rise of Hitler. Economic depression in Germany. German economy faced severe crisis after the war. It was under the burden of paying war damages, etc. The German government began to print currency notes on a large scale and this resulted in excessive inflation. It is said that people had to carry currency in carts to buy one loaf of bread. In previous session, already we have learned about the impact of Great Depression. Definitely, there will be having a great economic depression even in Germany also, as according to the Treaty of Versailles, Germany is make responsible for all the disaster which took place during the First World War. So to overcome with this problem, the German government, they started printing currency notes. So it gives to uh, inflation, it leads to excessive inflation. Inflation means increase in the rate of or in the prices of common products. This called as inflation. So it is said that at that time during the economic depression in Germany, to get or to buy one loaf of bread, they have to take the full cart of currency to purchase it. It means it does not have any value of currency at that time because of excessive printing of currency notes. The German economy was the worst hit by the depression. By 1932, industrial production was reduced to 40% of its 1929 level. Workers lost their jobs or paid reduced wages. More than 6 million people were unemployed. On the streets of Germany, you could see men with placards around their necks saying, willing to do any work. Unemployed youths played cards or simply sat at street corners or desperately queued up at the local employment exchange. As there were very few jobs, the youth took to criminal activities and there was total despair in society. This German economy was having a worst hit during the economic depression, and the production level has been reduced to 40%. More than 6 million people were unemployed in Germany, and all the people, especially the young men, they'll be having a placard and they are just standing in the queue or on the roadside. They are having a placards hanging in the necks. It was written that willing to do any work. It means they are having that much of desperateness among in a society among the unemployed youths. Those who are trying, they are queued up in the employment exchange lines, and some were there, those who are involved themselves in criminal activities. Rise of fascism and Nazism. Children, in the causes we have already learned about the aggressive nationalism. Nationalism is actually in a positive impulse. Similarly, fascism was one ideology which developed in the period after the First World War, especially in the defeated countries. It emphasized the idea of national unity in order to expand and win over other nations. Fascists did not allow anyone to conflict nor have different interests within the nation. They suppressed people with force in order to ensure absolute loyalty and obedience to a central power. Fascism actually it's an ideology of nationalism, and this much of possessiveness they have inculcated, especially in the defeated nations of the First World War. This ideology developed. Fascism was prevalent in Italy under the leadership of Mussolini, where they are giving importance to the nation. The person should first think about a nation, then secondly they have to think about themselves. That's why this ideology suppressed, even if the people are want to ask for their rights, this things or this ideology was suppressed forcefully in order to ensure that they should be loyal and obedient only first to the nation. So this ideology shows an aggressive nationalism. Fascism starts in Italy under the leadership of Mussolini. Similarly, Nazism, it emerged in Germany under the leadership of Hitler. This ideology was more popular in the defeated countries who were feeling insulted because of the conditions imposed on them by the Versailles Treaty and the pressure of worldwide depression. It first began with the victory of Benito Mussolini in Italy in 1922. Then Hitler and his Nazi party came to power in Germany in 1933. General Franco came to power in Spain after a long military campaign against the democratic state in 1939. Meanwhile, Japan has also developed its own version of fascist ideology, that is, militarism, and started its military campaign in China, Korea, etc. So, this extreme nationalist feeling emerged in Italy, fascism under the leadership of Benito Mussolini in 1922. Then it was followed by even the Germany in 1933 under the leadership of Hitler, and it started developed even in Spain also under the leadership of General Franco. So this was like everyone, these nations, especially the defeated nations, because they have imposed such harsh terms and conditions in the Treaty of Versailles that they feel insulted. So, to get back the pride in the world, they have started. Even Japan is also in the race of fascist ideology. It started extending its area or try to extend the military campaign in China and Korea also. Nazi Germany. In such a situation, Nazi party's propaganda gave some hopes of a better future. Hitler was the unquestioned leader of the Nazi party. In 1928, the Nazi Party had got less than 2.6% votes in the Riksdag, the lower house of the German parliament. But by 1932, it had become the largest party in Germany with 37% votes. Hitler came to power and immediately took steps to establish an undemocratic and autocratic rule. He stopped the working of all democratic institutions like parliament. So, as the economic depression were worst and the Germany felt insulted because of the terms and conditions which were imposed in a Treaty of Versailles. So, in the beginning, 1928, Nazi Party is having just 2.6 percentage of votes in a lower house. But as time passed in 1932, it had become the largest party in Germany, and the ideology which they are propagating, it's having a best impact on the people. They started having good hopes of a better future in Germany. And when he came to power, he tried to establish an undemocratic and autocratic role where he is not at all giving chance to any democratic institutions like parliament in Germany. Enabling Act. On 3rd March 1933, the famous Enabling Act was passed. This act established dictatorship in Germany. It gave Hitler all powers to sideline parliament and rule by his order. All political parties and trade unions were banned except for the Nazi Party and its affiliates. The state established complete control over the economy, media, army, and judiciary. This is a very important act called as Enabling Act, which was passed on 3rd March 1933, which make Hitler as a dictator. He has sidelined all the parliament or the all democratic ideas by his rule. And by his order, he want that everyone should have a and or every aspect of the administration should be under the hand or the words the Nazi party only. No other political party have any importance in Germany. And it established, especially the German Nazis party, they established complete control over the economy. Whatever the economic activity is there, it was under the control of Nazis. They have even control media. They are having their own army, which they have to follow the only rules and regulations which was being given by the Nazis. And judiciary. So this enabling act make a Hitler as a dictator in Germany. Special Surveillance Act and security forces were established to have an impact or to show that the Hitler is a dictator and he came for protection of Germany. Along with this, some secret societies like Gestapo, SS, security services also appointed along with the general police of law to maintain law and order in Germany. As the war proceeded, the Nazi regime started its horrible program of building the racial supremacy of Germans by mass killings of minority communities. So as when the Nazi party came to power, especially Hitler came to power, he started using a racial supremacy of Germans, as he wanted Germans are something great or above than others. So the killing of minorities started. Under the shadow of the Second World War, Germany had started a genocidal war. In this war, the mass murder of selected groups of innocent civilians of Europe took place. The number of people killed included about 60 million Jews, 2 million Gypsies, 10 million Polish civilians, and 70,000 Germans who were considered mentally and physically disabled. Innumerable political opponents or people of different religious faith, Nazis devised a horrifying means of killing people. So, under the shadow, when they had started proceeding towards the Second World War, Germany is having a harsh communal feeling, or they have started killing the innocent people in Europe. And they'll be having innumerable, they have make assassinated or killed innumerable political opponents, and those who are propagating the another other religious faiths, they were killed by the Germans. And they have just devised a horrifying means of killing people. Nazis devised a horrifying means of killing people. They killed thousands of people in gas chambers in various killing centers like Auschwitz. These are the chambers where they are releasing the gas, and they are just filling thousands of people in this area, and they are releasing the gas, and mass killing took place in this centers or the gas chambers. This process is called, or these places were called, Auschwitz. Let us have a quick recap, children. Today we have learned economic depression in Germany, rise of fascism, Nazism, enabling act. This is important, children. It's a time for home assignment. You have to write a short note on Hitler's enabling act. I'll repeat. Your home assignment is write a short note on Hitler's enabling act. Refer textbook for the notes. Thank you.